He's back there going, I didn't go anywhere, I promise. That's your dad, and that's okay. But I have to take him. He's gonna step in next.
Okay.
Kelly, Cody, they call me Code. I can feel the substance, and then I can feel the heroin going through my system. So I know drug of choice or how the overdose happened, or both. Do you understand? He steps in, I see the white W's across his chest. He's shown me a soul level 22. And he hasn't been gone very long, honey. Do you understand that? And he's saying, I haven't been here very long. And what's with the 2nd or the month of February? Because he keeps saying 2 to me. Something with the 2nd or the month of February. He just passed the light bulb balloons. So it's just his way of saying happy belated birthday. I do step out of his bloodline into friendship. So he's just trying to acknowledge somebody else besides your significant other that he wants to give love to. And do you understand the connection with the name Matt?
That's my husband.
Thank you. Good. Because he said, I had to say hi to this friend before I talked to her husband. Kelly, say Matt next. Do you understand that? So he's acknowledging him. He's so excited about talking.
I know.
Are they like this?
Yes.
You couldn't separate them for anything.
No.
Good, perfect. He's acknowledging he's here. He said, tell Matt that I'm okay. And I just feel the up and down roller coaster, honey. So he really struggled with this drug abuse. Do you understand that? And I have to say abuse because he never really wanted to admit that he was an addict. But now that he's with God, he has a higher understanding and he knows. Do you understand that? That's the acknowledgement, okay? He's got a shaved head.
Yep.
Yeah, I see him clear as day, and I see the tattoos up and down his arms. Do you understand? I'm seeing him clear as day. Dressed in simple jeans, very casual. I can see tattoos up and down his arms. He has a shaved head. He's acknowledging himself to me. So I see what he looked like when he was here. Even though he's 22, because that's his happiness on the other side, that's okay. He's so happy about making the connection. He said, I had to show you my tats, Kelly.
Yeah, he loves his tattoos.
Do you understand that?
Cody's all about tattoos.
There's people that got tattoos for him as well, because he's acknowledging this. So I know there's at least 2 people, because he said several to me. And then they're releasing of balloons for him.
Yeah.
Please no. Because he's like, tell them I saw everything they wrote to me, Kelly. I was standing right here when they released the balloons. Tell them thank you.
Okay.
And the month of June connecting. The month of June. There's something with the month of June. Somebody's birthday he's trying to acknowledge, okay? But how great that you're gonna be able to go home and tell Matt that he came through. Do you understand that? Were you hoping that for him?
I was, but Matt just passed away, so I don't, my husband Matt just passed away,
I
his
just
best
keep
friend.
hearing, she has to go home and tell him.
Yeah, because he probably wanted to get that to Matt, but is that, they couldn't contact with Matt,
You
Matt
understand
just
it?
went.
2 weeks ago.
Matt
That's
just
why.
passed.
Okay, that's why. Let me hear this clearly then. He's on a lower level. He's waiting for him to transition into him. He'll meet him soon. He's trying to give the message to his dad because he was like a son. Do you understand that?
So,
That's the acknowledgement.
so
Okay,
what
now I
is it
understand
again?
correctly.
So what is it again?
He's trying to give the message to his dad. And he said, I'm trying to talk about Matt. She needs to tell this for Matt. Meaning he's trying to pass the message for Matt to the father. Do you understand that?
I don't understand.
Just means he saw him like a son as well. That's all I hear. Just means that father saw both those boys like a son, even though he was a son and the other one
Or
wasn't.
there's a father passed too?
Do you understand that? But the other one's still here. They're talking about some kind of
Cody's
father
dad
energy
is still
they're trying
here?
to pass
Cody's
the
dad is
information
still
to.
here?
Yes.
Okay,
For
okay,
business.
okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That's what I hear. We're trying to talk about.
Oh, but Matt was, and Cody were like sons to his father. Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes,
Thank
I
you.
got
So I'm
it.
like, honey, what are you trying to say to me? And he's like, I'm trying to say this for a reason. I'm trying to talk about Matt for a reason. Kelly, just listen to me. I'm so sorry. I was trying to talk about 2 things at once. I want you to be able to understand. I'm trying to talk about how to give love to him. We're trying to acknowledge Matt for a reason. I haven't had a chance to have a connection with him, but I'm going to have a chance to see him soon. He's still in the early stages. He's staying there to give comfort to everybody else before he comes completely here to be with us. He's still in God's light. He's crossed over. He's on a lower transitional level. They're telling me he's staying for just over 3 weeks before he has a chance to really have a full connection with him because he's giving comfort to the family. So that's why they're acknowledging the father. Do you understand that?
Okay.
That's what it's about. Like I said, yes, we have to take you through it a little at a time. We had to make you feel the difference in the transitions. So it just means that he's acknowledging about watching over Matt. Because he kept saying, I have to tell Matt, I have to tell her about Matt. tell her I love him, tell her I'm watching over. She has to give the message to him. It just means he was giving me two things at once, so I had to explain. Like I said, yes, you heard it correctly. He was talking too fast to you. We were trying to get him to slow down. Because he was trying to give the message to the father that both of them
At the
are gonna
birthday,
be
maybe.
okay,
Okay.
and that they're together. That's all I hear. There's something about him staying here and watching over the family for some time. Like I said, yes, that's what he's trying to say. So just give me the acknowledgement. And the gunshot?
Huh?
The gunshot? There's another soul that's with Cody Youngville that they both knew took his life because I hear the gunshot. So there's a suicide as well. So I'm going to leave that be because it might make sense to you later, okay? Okay, good, perfect. Let me finish with him and let me see what else I can get about that. But do you understand what they're trying to acknowledge about the status for us both of them being like sons? Being able to pass the message?
Yeah, like I might have to get in touch with his sister to find out how
I know it's gonna
what the
make
dad's
sense to you.
doing.
Like I said, just give it, it's gonna make sense. He was voicing it like that for a reason, Kelly, because of the transition level, because he's staying there with the family for some time. She's not gonna understand it the way you understand it because of the mediumship, but we had to give it to you so she could understand as far as the transition and as far as the meeting. So just pass the information, it'll make sense as she delivers the messages she's supposed to deliver. It makes sense to her, so we're just acknowledging it's gonna make sense. He just keeps talking about Matt and the connection through you. He's talking to me about releasing balloons. I know people release balloons for him. And there's also an honoring him t-shirt. Do you understand that? So it just means somebody's wearing his t-shirt.
I'm wearing Matt's t-shirt
Good,
though.
perfect, good.
So I wonder if
So it just means he's piggybacking and trying to acknowledge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And what's with the butterflies? Seeing the butterflies all the time, honey?
Yeah.
Perfect, good. So please know he knows, and they're trying to acknowledge that that's going to be a sign from Matt to you, and that's your sign of hope that he's okay. Do you understand that? Okay, good. He really struggled with this heroin though, long time. And it wasn't the first time he put too much in his system.
Yeah.
That's all I hear. It wasn't the first time I put too much in my system. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's Cody's dad's name?
They call him oh gosh, I can't
Because
think
my
of
guy says it's a different nickname and I just
Yeah, it's
can't
a
hear it.
nickname.
I just need to leave it be because I hear that's the acknowledgement that the father's there, there's a father here. They both saw them as sons. They're trying to give the father that's here the message about both these boys and the reconnections there. Do you
Okay.
understand that? So it's coming. But right now he's trying to give support here, down here, down here. Doesn't mean he's not with God, it just means he's in that early transition. I can have people that'll come through that have been gone for a day. So I'll wait and see if he starts to talk, but it's about them saying he's staying here for a while to give comfort because you didn't expect him to leave. And it was a sudden passing as well. Do you understand that acknowledgement and the overdose as well? Both overdoses? Thank you. So they're just giving you acknowledgement of it. And you've been seeing the butterflies already, so you're already taking that as your sign, as far as a sign of hope from him. That's the acknowledgement. Do you understand that? So please know that they're together. It just means he'll be able to be with Cody's level very soon. But right now, there's something about staying with the family to give comfort. That's all it's about, honey. Do you understand? Okay, and the month of September connected?
it's our anniversary.
Good, because I heard say September, say September. So Cody's passing some of this information to help him because he's still in transition. So that's the acknowledgement. So I have to go back and forth between both planes, get it? That's where they were acknowledging about that. Say September. And the 19th? Or something with the 19th.
Matt died on the 19th.
Do you understand the 19th? Good, perfect, thank you. And so you're wearing the t-shirt, so that's what I heard talk about, the honoring the t-shirt.
Yeah,
You've been
yeah.
sleeping in the, you've been
I've been
sleeping
sleeping
in
with one
t-shirt.
too, yeah, in the white
I
one.
hear she's sleeping in the t-shirt, and he's been coming to you. He's staying here for a while because he's trying to give you comfort, and he's been coming to you. And I can feel you laying in the t-shirt crying,
Yeah.
and I can see him coming and kissing you. And the picture right here on the nightstand,
Yeah.
and you've been kissing it goodnight, he sees all that. So they had to show me what he's still doing here on this level. Even though he's with God and he's crossed over, honey, there's a lower transitional level. Not everybody understands about the levels, so they had to take it easy with me. So I had to hear from Cody first before I could get the acknowledgement. And I heard, tell her to tell him. And then he was talking about Matt at the same time. So that's about the dad, and that's okay. Like I said, he just got so excited, he was trying to take everything to your place. We have to take him at his level right here, and then that,
Yeah.
that's okay. So we'll leave it be. They'll do that, they get so excited about talking so fast.
Yeah.
They'll be telling me 3 or 4 things at once. But there's something about, okay, so he said September, he said the 19th. He's talking about the t-shirt, he's talking about the butterflies and hope. So I just need to listen to him, okay?
Okay.
And what's with taking the words I love you that he wrote and tattooing it?
Well, I have, I don't know.
Ask about that, because it just means if it's not on your mind, someone's already thought about taking his signature and tattooing it on their body.
Oh, I wanted it on a necklace, but not
Thank
to.
you. Good. Don't be surprised if you don't put it on the tattoo.
I'm sure.
Because I heard Kelly talk about my signature. Now I'm connecting to Matt. So my guides are going to have to step him in because he's still in that lower transitional level because it's been very recent. So I have 2 guides stepping in with him. And he shows me the I love you. And I hear she's going to do that for me. And then I feel like it's going on your body. So don't be surprised if you don't do that past the necklace. Do you understand that? And who called him Maddie?
No.
There's something about Matt and Maddie, so it just means somebody else.
Oh, Maddie.
Do you understand that?
I know Maddie. Maddie's having our, Maddie.
Okay, so as long as you understand that. And there's a German Shepherd standing with them. Cody has a German Shepherd with him, so I'm going to leave that be, because it could have been a childhood dog, or it could be a dog from one of the older generations, and I'm feeling it. And it's a female, so I'm just going to acknowledge that and leave it be.
Write down that so I
I'm going to
get
go
the
back and
message.
forth between their transition levels. But I heard we had to talk about the t-shirt. I had to say I saw her coming. I had to say I'm coming to give her kisses. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me to be able to talk to her. Now I'm stepping in. So I have to take him on the lower transitional levels. We're going to have to take our time with this because he's recently passed. So meetings will be like, they have to be gone for 4 to 5 months before we connect with them. No, it depends on the advancement of the medium. So if somebody's a recent passing, I have my guides step in with them. I want them to give the energy for support so I can hear as much as I can from them, especially if it's been under a month, because sometimes I can only get so much energy out of them. Do you understand that? I see YW's process just, he shows me a soul level of 24, and he said I had to start with the I love you, I had to start with the butterflies, I had to talk to you about her t-shirt, I had to show you that she was wearing her t-shirt when she sleeps. Kelly, I know she's going to do everything with my signature. Tell her she's going to do so much more. So he's making me feel the tattoo. Love of his life. How long were you together for?
8 years, but we've
Because
never.
I heard over 5 under 10. So they said over 5 to me. So I know it's over 5, just hasn't hit 10 yet. So they have to say over 5. Do you understand that? Because otherwise I would feel just over 10. So it gets his acknowledgement. Is it on again, off again for a little bit though? In the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Then it was solid past the 5 years. Do you understand? So they had to make me feel 5 because of the on again, off again in the beginning. And the necklace in his honor. He's talking about the necklace in his honor.
Yeah.
Good, perfect. So he's acknowledging that. And keeping his shoes.
Yeah, I haven't gotten them yet, but I'm trying to get them.
Do you understand that? He said, tell her to keep my shoes. I talked to her about keeping my shoes. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So he's acknowledging that as well. Okay, let me take my time with this because I am going to go back and forth a little bit from him and Cody. And the 21st of the month. There's something with the 21st. And that's coming from Cody. So I'm going to leave that because I know it's going to make sense to you later because Cody's giving me a date of the 21st, okay?
Right there.
Okay, good. Right now I'm going to transition into him. He's so happy about talking to you. He said, this means so much to me. I was number 1 on her mind. We're going to chance to talk to him first, Kelly. We're doing everything we can to give her love. I wanted her to be able to hear from Cody because his family needs to be able to hear that message. That's why we're talking about the father energy because we were like brothers. That's Matt. Do you understand? So he's just channeling through me. And the song Freebird, somebody thinks of that with Cody. So write that down because I know it's going to make sense to you later because they're singing that to me very clearly. And then I hear a bunch of rap music that I can't make any sense of. So I'm going to leave that be because I don't know what that's about. So there must be someone else that's thinking of another song for him. So he's just acknowledging, okay? Now I'm coming back into this level with Matt. He chooses to be 24 though. He's happy, honey. He said, tell her I'm happy. He struggled with the drug addiction for a while. You were trying to give him every benefit of the doubt. He said she always tried to see the good in me. She always tried to do everything she could, Kelly, to be here for support for me. She did everything she could for me. There was times where she was going to walk away and she chose not to. Do you understand that? I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that she chose to be with me. I'm so thankful that she stayed. Do you understand that? Okay, good, perfect. And putting the picture in the visor in the car. Do you understand that? Because he keeps saying, look at my picture, Kelly, and I'm like, okay, honey. but he's very adamant about these shoes. That's been on your mind a lot.
Yes.
Do you understand why it's so important?
Yes.
It's been on her mind a lot. So
Yes.
And you lived together for some time.
Yeah.
And she said, she misses me walking around the house. And I know she's already feeling me, Kelly, even though it's been just a short time. But she really misses me being there physically. And I know she's already hearing me. You're already hearing the footsteps. Please know that's him. That's why they're talking about the transitional level he's in, because he's trying to give you guys comfort before he goes to a higher transitional level. This is important. It's why they had to explain it to me that way. So Cody's trying to give him love to where he is, and he comes to visit from time to time in spirit. They're not fully together yet because Matt's staying here to help you guys through this because it's been such a short time. It's the acknowledgement about the transitional level. Do you understand? Like I think he's only on level 2. Kelly, he's on level 2, Cody's on level 6. So there's 4 levels between the two of them, so that's why I have to go back and forth. So they're giving the acknowledgement. That's all it's about, honey, okay? So he's choosing to do that because of how much he loves you and the family and friends that are missing him. So he's giving the acknowledgement of it. Do you understand that? Good. Okay, when he was saying to you that he knew he was not going home and telling him, he was talking about the dad to pass everything to this father energy. Do you understand that acknowledgement? Okay, good, very good. In the month of May, because he's shouting May to me.
Mason, okay.
Okay, good. And the 27th, there's something with the 27th, and that comes from Cody, because May came from Matt, 27th came from Cody. So I'm going back and forth between both of them. I'm going to leave it be because I know some of the things you're not going to recognize about Cody, because even though they were tied at the hip and they were good friends, did you care for Cody, but were you concerned about the way they spent time together because of the drug use?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She said, I know she really cared for me, Kelly, but she was always so concerned about our friendship because she thought I was going to be a bad influence on him. Do you understand that? So that's the understanding and acknowledgement as well. So part of Cody's soul from the other side wants to ask for forgiveness for that. But you have to understand that even though they both chose to do the drugs, Matt keeps putting his hand up and saying to Kelly, I have to acknowledge the responsibility that I chose. Because a lot of times I was doing it by myself. Do you understand that? So it's his acknowledgement. And you see him as your angel already, because he just showed me angel wings. Do you understand that? Okay, good, perfect. And the wallet, you got this wallet with his license and everything, and you got that exactly the same. Okay, so he's showing me that. And then there's something to do with some kind of charm, or charm bracelet, because they keep making me feel that. Do you understand the charm of the charm bracelet?
I don't know.
There's some kind of charm.
There's a lot of them.
Or charm, do you understand that? Because he just keeps putting the charm bracelet around my arm, so I know that that's been done in his honor. Do you understand that? And you're planning the recent releasing of the balloons for the calendar, because he keeps closing the calendar, so this is going to be an annual thing. So I know this is something you guys are going to step into as far as the honor. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And you still kept most of his clothes, and nothing's really changed as far as where you live. He said she's already questioned whether she should stay there or not, because it's too much for her. Tell her I want her to stay. So it's just his way of saying it's what you need to do for now. Do you understand that? So do you understand that question already in your mind that he's trying to acknowledge because he's trying to give you something personal? You're still angry with him. He said part of the reason why I'm staying Kelly with level 2 and haven't fully transitioned over even though I'm with God is because I'm trying to acknowledge to her that I have to help her with her anger a little bit first. She's so upset with me because the way I left, but I can see how much she loves me too. So he knows, and part of the reason why he's acknowledging about the overdose is to give the apology because of the way he left. That's the transition. Do you understand that? Good, you have children, honey?
Yeah, we have kids, separate marriages.
Yeah, because he's like, she's so worried about what's going to happen with the kids now, with me not being there. And that's all I hear him saying. Do you understand that? And the son, he's saying, talk about my son. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they're all in very, I hear, young, vulnerable stages, and they're really trying to understand all this. How old are they?
They're teenagers,
Yeah.
like they're
That's
19 and 18.
always under 21 when they say young and vulnerable. So he says, I'm trying to do everything I can. Tell her I'm staying for all of them for now. Do you understand that? So it's just his acknowledgement. And the motorcycle?
He wants, yeah.
Well, he has one now, because he's like, tell her.
Oh, you ride this.
Ride. And I'm like, okay, but because he's sitting on the motorcycle, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, tell Craig I'm gonna ride. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. Do you understand that? Was that like a regular, everyday conversation?
Yes,
guys?
yes.
We talked about it every day, guys.
Yes, it was.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
It's just acknowledgement, okay? Okay, good, perfect. And now I know why Cody was saying in the beginning, tell Matt I love him, tell him I came to talk, because he wanted me to acknowledge the love of him, the love of the Father, both the love for both of them, and then switch into him when it really transition. Okay, good, perfect. I'm asking my guy, okay, anything else about the first sentence when he was giving it to me, when he was trying to say 2 or 3 things at once that I didn't explain to her, and they said no, we had to transition into him, so that's acknowledgement. And there's somebody by the name of Mary that they're with, so I'm going to leave it be because it's some kind of like great grandmother for one of them, but I can feel her stepping in. And she said, hi Kelly, I really wanted you to hear me because I'm here to give these boys support. So she just stepped in and I'm just acknowledging her. Because there is a line of 7 people behind Cody when I come up to his level, so they're trying to give support, okay? Good, perfect. Say to me wasn't afraid. Do you understand that? Tell her I wasn't afraid.
Cody or Matt?
Cody. Do you understand? He's just acknowledging. And did you find Matt? There's something about him being gone and not really having a chance to say anything and not being fully vocal.
He wasn't with me.
Yeah, he just keeps saying, my soul was full, Kelly. I just hear I was found. And so I don't know who found him. He just said I was found. I was already gone. I wasn't fully vocal. I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. That's all I hear. Do you understand that? I'm so sorry for that. That's what I hear. I'm so sorry for that. Tell her how much I love her. He's always in your ear, he says. I'm always in her ear. And did you already feel the brushing of your hair? Watch for that, because it makes me feel he's been trying to do this. He's going to stay with you for a while. Another 1 to 2 weeks before he fully transitions, because he's trying to give you comfort because it's still new. In the month of January, he keeps acknowledging January.
It's our birthday.
Huh?
It's our birthdays.
Okay. I just keep seeing the birthday balloons. Do you understand? So he's acknowledging January. There's something with the 14th of the month because they hear him say 14 as well. Somebody else he's trying to say hi to. They're stepping me out of you guys into friends, so it's just somebody else he's trying to acknowledge. But there's people that are missing Cody and Matt is what I hear. Do you understand that? Yeah. See how slow my channeling had to slow down? See how fast Cody was coming through? But then I had to slow down to get stuff from him because of where he is right now. Even though he's with God and he's transitioned, he's really kind of down here spending time with you guys because he's trying to give you comfort. So I have to really go through slow channel with him for that acknowledgement, and that's okay. I'm only going to have him for another minute. And the diamond, he was talking about the diamond.
Cody is. Write that down. Just write it
Do you
down.
understand that? I'm going to leave that be because he just keeps acknowledging. All right, let me come back down here to my
My pastor's got a bicycle.
I know how hard this is on her, Kelly. Thank you for listening to me. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to have the energy to stay this long. I'm thanking you guys for letting me be able to talk to her. It means everything to her. She knows I loved her. I loved her with every ounce I have. I always told her how much I loved her. They keep saying I love you more.
Yeah.
You guys used to always say that, I love you more. He's acknowledging all that. And the song You Are My Sunshine, there's something about Cody singing that to somebody. So ask about that because I'm going back and forth between both of them. And I hear him singing that as he steps out. Tell her, Kelly, thank you. And then her talking Matt and taking me. So he's stepping out and I'm still here with Matt with my guides, okay? Because he's standing here and I have 2 of my Native American guides right beside him. Just hanging out, helping, okay? There's something about 17 days. Keep saying 17 days. So I feel like it's something about he's going to stay for 17 more days. Remember how I kept saying it was going to be somewhere around like a week or 2 weeks and something about under 3 weeks. They're saying 17 days. So there's something about he's going to go He's going to be at peace. He's still going to be with you in spirit. You're still going to see signs. You're still going to feel him and connect to him. But he's going to transition into a higher level. And there's something about 17 days. I don't want you to worry about the number they just gave me. They're giving it to you as a gift. It's for you to understand. That's all it's about, okay? There's a lot of times loved ones will stay to give support and comfort before they fully transition. I have husbands that'll do that a lot with wives. I have young souls that'll do that a lot. Like if somebody lost a son and he was like 21 years old, he might stay to give comfort to his mom a little bit before he does his full transition. This is what all this is about. It's about him doing this to give you comfort because he wants you to be able to feel him because this is so new and you lost him so sudden and there wasn't a chance to say goodbye. Do you understand that? That's all it is, honey, okay? He's with God. But he's really spending a lot of time here on a lower vibrational level to be able to make the connections with you, even though he's already found his peace. But he will get further peace as he starts to further transition. That's the acknowledgement, okay? All right, they're giving me 1 minute warning and then I need to move on. You understand this? Angel understands it. I was like, do you understand what they're trying to do? Yeah. So it's just the acknowledgement. So, honey, he loves you so much. And he's like, I just love her so much. I'm trying to do everything I can for her, Kelly. I'm with God and I'm at peace, but I'm staying here because I'm trying to give her comfort before I really fully accept my own. I need her to know that I'm okay and that I'm going to be there for her and the kids. I wanted everybody to have a chance to hear from Cody, but I'm choosing to stay here. Even though he's come to visit me, even though I know that they're at peace as well, I need to be here for my family first. It's just his acknowledgement, honey, that he really needs to be here for the family. Okay? That's really wonderful that he's doing that, because not all souls do that. And part of this has to do with you not having a chance to say goodbye to him, and him trying to give you comfort in the process of all this, because this was so new. Do you understand? That's all it's about, honey. Thank you, Kelly. Tell her I love her. They're telling me it's my time, so it just means it says time to step out. Thank you so much. I stayed for as long as I could. It really means a lot to me. I wanted you to be able to hear me first. Thank you for being able to connect to me on the lower transitional level. They're saying to me, don't normally do that. I don't. It really means a lot for me to be able to pass this message. I wanted her to know that I'm still here with her, and that I will transition to, and I'm doing everything I can to help her. I'm trying to give her comfort as much as possible to her comfort. He did great. They both did, but they had to share their time. I've never had that happen in 4.5 years I've been reading. They've never brought me down to a lower transitional level. They told me what level both boys were on. Because there's different levels on the other side. Okay? So, where he is with his relationship with God, and where he is with his relationship with you, as far as really feeling he needs to be here and stay here with you, I understand the level too. And that's okay. It's just acknowledgement. He is going to be going back and forth over the next couple of weeks, but for now he's really been here. That's the acknowledgement. So he will have a chance to be with Cody, but not yet. Even though they're doing the back and forth, and Cody's trying to get the support, Cody's on level 6 because he's found his peace. He went right away. He didn't stay to give support to the family, but he's been given signs of comfort and giving love and support from that level because he went to level 4, transition to 5, and level transition to 6. So 6 is where he is. So this is his learning plan on the other side. But Matt is still in level 2, and it's because of you. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's his choice, because he's trying to give you love and comfort for where you are, because he's trying to help you out. Has anyone else ever felt like their loved one stayed with them for a couple weeks before they transitioned? See how that goes. So a lot of times they'll be on level 1, 2, or 3, but there's lower transitional levels, okay? So they're acknowledging to me that he's on level 2, but he will transition. He's still with God, honey. He's at peace. He's staying here before he gets his peace. Do you understand that? So you guys have felt that before. And that can happen in those early weeks, but I've never had it happen or come through like that. So I really had to stop with Cody. He got a little ahead of himself and excited. And I had to make my guy step in and say, please explain, you've done the same with me. And then look at what great validation I got from both of them. Even if you don't understand the 27th from Cody or the diamond,